Since we're living in the world of matrices now, individual numbers now get a new name. So since our objects are now matrices, like this, the individual numbers inside are called elements, also known as sometimes as scalars or scalar, right? The word scalar just means that you have an individual number, not a matrix. Now, how do you multiply a scalar by a matrix? How do you multiply things like 3a? Well, first of all, how do you even write it down? We write it down like this: 3 on the outside, and then -5, 2, 2, 3, -4, and 7. And to multiply a scalar by a matrix, what you have to do is grab the scalar and multiply it with each of the numbers inside of the matrix. So everything gets tripled. So we end up with -15, then 6, then 6 again, then 9, and finally -12 and 21. And that's it. That's how you multiply a matrix by a scalar. Okay. Again, keep in mind that whatever size you started with, you're going to end up with the same size at the end. So scalar multiplication is not terribly difficult. What's a little bit more difficult is multiplying a matrix by another matrix. That's going to happen in the next section. So here we go again, -2a. In this case, I have -2. And the matrix A again is -5, 2, 2, 3, -4, and 7. And let's multiply the scalar by the matrix. So this time the scalar is -2. And we're going to end up with 10, -4, -4, -6, 8, and -14. And that's the final answer there. So now that we know how to add, multiply, subtract, whatever, multiply by scalar, let's practice a couple of these problems. In this case, the problem is saying we want you to multiply 3 by a minus 2b. So I've got two choices. I can either first find the answer to a minus 2b and then multiply it by a scalar 3, or I can multiply the scalar first and get 3a minus 6b and then find the answer. I feel like that's a little bit easier, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to multiply 3 by the 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to subtract 6 by -3, 6, 0, 1. So again, PEMDAS rules the day. You have to do multiplications first before you do subtractions. So let's multiply first. 3 times 1 is going to be 3. 3 times 3 is going to be 6. 3 times 3 is going to be 9. 3 times 4 is going to be 12. So that's my tiny little matrix first. Now, -6 times -3 is going to be 18. -6 times -6 is going to be -36. Then 0, then -6. So that's the second matrix. And since I took out the -6 from there, what's left in the middle is just a plus sign. So now again, I'm going to add the matrices by adding the corresponding terms. So every one gets added with the corresponding term, and we end up with the solution. So let's see. 3 plus 18 is going to be 21. 6 minus 36 is -30. 9 plus 0 is going to be 9. 12 minus 6 is going to be at the end 6. And this is the solution of this problem. So give this one a shot. Try to do it by hand and try to plug it in the calculator after and see if you can get the right answer both ways. So pause your video now and see if you can try to do it. Okay, so let me show you how to plug it in the calculator first. So I already have typed in the A and B matrices, and all I have to do now is click 2, then go into the matrix menu, put the name of B, and then -3, put the name of A. So the matrix here is going to be first matrix, and then just click enter. So 9, -14, 8, -9, 14, and 3. And if you do it by hand, you get the same result. Now be careful when you're subtracting over here. -3, first of all, gets multiplied by all of the terms inside the matrix. When it's gone, when you do the multiplication, the -3 is gone. So what do you put there? You just put the invisible plus sign. And that's how this plus in the middle appears out of nowhere. And then you just perform the addition term by term.